Welcome everyone, and thank you for joining us here on the Infinite Prosperity Podcast. My name is Louisa Havers and I help high achievers, entrepreneurs and coaches lift the lid on life and business. And we have something very special for you, our listeners, today with a training that we did recently on the Clubhouse platform. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with Clubhouse, it is a social networking app where people create rooms and discuss a wide range of topics. And because it's delivered direct to your mobile device, you may notice a difference in audio quality, which we're hoping doesn't take away from your listening experience. What is important, of course, is the content that we're sharing. And I invite you to be intentional with what you wish to receive from listening today. How do you want to feel after you have listened to our session? For more information on how you can join us on future Clubhouse meetings with me, Louisa Havers, be sure to check out the show notes below. And we will see you in the Clubhouse. Hey everybody, welcome to the Art of Alignment, listening to your intuition in business for your aligned success. My name is Louisa Havers and I help entrepreneurs and coaches break through their income ceilings, working in the Akashic Records, with energy kinesiology and business strategies. And today we're sharing stories and experiences of how you listen to your intuition in business for your aligned success. So looking forward to hearing from you. And I can see Andrea has joined us already, which I'm so excited, Andrea, to have you here today. Do come and join me up on stage if you want to join in the conversation. For me, having aligned success in business comes down to, I'd say, 90% alignment and 10% strategy. And part of that alignment is listening to our intuition. And of course, our dear old monkey mind just can get really noisy and hold us back when we're about to step up and do things, anything that's going to expand us out of our comfort zone, taking our business forward to that next level. And when we're listening to our monkey mind and the subconscious limiting beliefs start bubbling up and revealing themselves to us, it's creating resistance in our field and starts to slow us down, to create and attract perhaps things that we didn't want to have and experience within our business. And our business is an expression of ourselves. And as we go through different levels of our business, our stuff gets kicked up. So I know that as I've grown to multi-six figures, the biggest thing that has been, for me, has been aligning myself so that my energetic vibration does the heavy lifting and following my intuition. So to get our conversation started, I thought I'd share a way to work with your intuition and to allow your intuition to be a guiding light in business. And this is a technique that I use, which is part of our core manifesting process that I share with my clients. And I call it living in the energy of the question. And perhaps you do something similar or are already using a technique like this. So I'd love to hear from you. So the manifesting process that I use is, the core process is connecting with your higher self. So doing this through breath work, being able to really tune in and to start to listen to that internal voice, creating the identity of the future self. So doing this through rewiring self-concepts and creating a new vibrational attraction point, and living in the energy, living in the energy of the question. This is a key part of it. And then off the back of the answers that come through from living in the energy of the question, taking aligned action. So for me, questions are the answers. And this is something that's been with me for some time. And I realized that my first manifestation that I was consciously aware of was from asking a question and living in the energy of it. And because I didn't know the answer and I wasn't really trying to find the answer, it felt very different from when I was in that space. And I'm sure listeners have done this as well. When you're trying to figure out what's the answer, you get hooked into finding the best answer. And actually this creates a contraction energetically and it closes off your intuition. When you're not attached to the answer and you're able to create a energetic space by asking a high vibrational question and you live in the energy of it, then the answers come to you. I talk about this, I call it writing your question down, like you're writing it down on a post-it note and giving the universe the post-it note, and you're just sort of popping it on your aura, popping it on your human Wi-Fi and saying, okay, universe, take care of that question for me. And then it just opens up your field. And when you're listening to your intuition is working in hand with the universe. The opportunities that come to you are so expansive. And this is where we can work with our intuition in business by asking empowering questions and living in the energy of it. So the power is asking the question without expecting an answer, because the answer comes from the field of intelligence, and this is part of you. So I know that when I began to live in questions, and I realized that problems and solutions are basically two sides of the same coin, they're always going to show up together. So I often talk about the obstacles becoming the way. The resolution to every problem that we've ever had is hidden in the heart of the obstacle. And so when we're asking a question without looking for the answer, this literally creates a vacuum in the universe. This is the law of physics. So the intelligence of the universe rushes into the vacuum of the question, and the answer comes from this. It comes into our lives in its own time. So we need to be unattached to the timing around it. But asking a question also signals to the universe that we are willing to listen to the truth and the wisdom that comes with every challenge in our lives. So it's not working in linear time with the question followed by the answers. The answers come in their own ways, but of course they come with, let me know if you've recognized that you've been using this technique, that you ask the question and then suddenly you get this clarity, or suddenly the opportunity or whatever it was that you were asking for, you're suddenly experiencing. So this is what I mean by living in the energy of the question. All you need to do is ask, let go, and then allow the answer to show up in the energetic vacuum created by your question. And because the universe is answering this rather than you trying to figure it out with your cognitive mind, you are working with your intuition and the intelligence of the universe together. So it's so, so powerful. So would love to know if you ask questions and use this as part of your manifesting process. Let me know if you'd like to come up and join in the conversation, or if you have any questions, and we can continue this conversation. Just to speak to this a little bit more, when we're creating questions, the most powerful way to do this is to ask a question as if you already have it. And then, so basically what you're doing is you can create the statement and then you add on why or how to the front of it. So just to share some examples. Why do I love the people I work with? How am I always able to do so much during the day? How can I improve the service to my clients? How can I improve my business? How can I be the best client for someone else? So thinking of the questions is thinking about, so connecting with our higher self through breath work, then asking this question, living in the energy of it by just allowing it to percolate through you, and then seeing what insights and guidance comes through you. And often when I'm working with clients, some people will get downloads straight away. So their intuition will tell them to contact somebody, to reach out to a client they used to work with, or someone's name will drop in. Or it may come later on in the day and suddenly they'll start to think of somebody that they haven't thought of for a long time. And I always say is follow your intuition, follow that inner guidance, reach out to that person that has just popped into you, and you'll often find that they'll say, oh, I was just thinking of you, or oh, I'm so glad you reached out. So does this resonate? Have you had that experience where you have followed your intuition and taken an action on that, and then it's opened up more business for you that perhaps you weren't expecting? And it can create, often clients will say to me that suddenly they feel like suddenly some new clients came in from out of nowhere. But of course, it's not out of nowhere. They've been following their intuition. They've been getting their energy all aligned. They've been asking empowered questions so that they can be in that space of expansion. And I found that when we're in a struggle place where we're resisting something and we're disconnecting ourselves from our intuition, we're creating energetically this push-pull. So our perception of this situation then creates more of the same. So where in business, if business hasn't yet hit the next milestone that you're working towards, where are you creating a push-pull? What are you resisting? Where are you ignoring your intuition or disconnecting so you don't have to listen to your intuition? So I'd love to know what ways you use your intuition or work intuitively in your business. So if you want to step forward, then do raise your hand, and we'd love to find out, do you work with muscle testing, Akashic records, emotion code, any modalities that you use to allow yourself to be guided? If you don't know what muscle testing is, that's where we use our body like a dowsing device to see what resistant thoughts or feelings or emotions are holding us back or holding our energy. Have you ever done any muscle testing before? It's a great way to be able to find out what's going on in your subconscious, and as a way of bypassing the ego mind. A lot of people will actually say to me, and great to hear if this is something that you have recognized, is how do I know when that little voice inside of me is telling me not to do something in my business or to do something for my business, whether I should listen to it or not? Is this my intuition guiding me? Or is this fear? And actually, because I'm feeling all these feelings, then that means I shouldn't do this. I shouldn't do X, Y, and Z, whatever it may be for the business. And I believe that of course, our inner knowing always knows what is aligned for us. Our intuition will guide us. And sometimes this is where we can mistake our fear or ego as protecting us from making a mistake in business. But actually, when we are listening to our fear or ego, it's creating a contraction. It's finding a way to pull us back to our default set point. So a little internal check you can do, I thought I'd share this one as well, is to find out if it's ego or your intuition, is you can ask, okay, so here's my little checklist. Is this something that I desire or I originally had an intention to create? So if yes, awesome. Is me having this in alignment with divine truth, universal laws? If yes, awesome. Keep moving forward. Does this give me more life Does this allow me to expand myself more? Does this add to the life of others? If yes, intuition guiding you forwards. And does having this create anything negative for another person or impact someone else's rights to choose? And if no, of course, then intuition is guiding you forward. So asking those questions can help you to keep moving forward in your business to the expansion that you originally intended. And if you were getting a no to any of those, then you can think, okay, so what is the voice inside my head telling me? This is most likely now to be ego or fear, however you want to describe it, the monkey mind, starting to pull you back to those default set points that are programmed in our psyche, where we're keeping ourselves in our comfort zone, wanting to keep ourselves safe. So our ego is wanting to keep ourselves safe. Work a lot with clients as they're expanding to their next level of income around keeping the ego feeling safe, so that it can know that it's safe to allow more money in, it's safe to allow more goodness in. So a good rule of thumb is to think about, okay, so does this create more expansion and growth? And the voice that is taking you out is fear, trying to pull you back to those default set points rather than intuition. So I hope you're finding value in this discussion today. So if you are, I invite you to consider hitting the plus sign and pinging a couple of people who follow you into the room so they can come and join us. We'd love to hear from you. The other question I thought I'd share with those listening today is, what does aligned success mean to you? Because for me, a lot of people can have a misaligned relationship with success. It's almost like, if particularly people have gone from the corporate rat race where success is being busy, success is having lots of money but no time to enjoy it, and that's just the way it is. For me, there is no, aligned success is about having it all but with ease, living at your highest potential, for it to feel good, no sacrifices. So no sacrifices to your family, to your health, for it to feel amazing. Does that resonate? So there's so many ways that you can use your intuition to support you in business. And I know for me, and everyone that I speak to, when they talk about some of the biggest mistakes that they made in business was around not following their intuition. I know for me, when I look back, the mistakes that I've made in my business have been where I've completely ignored my intuition, that gut feeling where it felt like I was pushing in one direction rather than allowing the flow in. So this was around a few years back, where I was hiring team members who didn't feel aligned. They were coming in to do the sales calls, and the agency that I was working with that had recommended them and said they'd done all this training and had all this experience, and these people sounded amazing and they seemed really lovely. And then when I had this little voice in my head that was saying, no, no, this doesn't feel right. And I thought, no, because of X, Y, and Z. So I listened to my ego then in terms of hiring these people. And when I did an audit on their calls, so they were doing breakthrough calls with potential clients, I was completely shocked. They didn't know what they were doing, and the caliber that had been shared with me, or that was just completely out of alignment. These professionals needed a lot more training, and they weren't aligned with my business at all. So it was an expensive lesson to for me in business around actually listen to that intuition. And even if you don't have a the physical evidence of it yet, is your intuition is always right. So I'd love to hear from people in terms of, where you've listened to your intuition and it's taken you down perhaps an unexpected path, but you knew it was right. I know that I followed my intuition completely when I was looking for a coach because I wanted to have a coach that was trained in the Akashic Records so that I could have that spiritual business coaching. And I completely followed my intuition. It was like following breadcrumbs, spiritual breadcrumbs, to the path that I took to then find my coach, so that I could have the spiritual business coaching that I was looking for. And then it opened up huge doors for me in terms of training as an Akashic Record teacher myself, offering readings myself, and adding this part to my business and service has just been absolutely phenomenal and greater than I could have ever hoped for or imagined. And that's why I always think when we're co-creating with the universe delivers in more ways than we could have hoped for when we really allow ourselves to open up and we follow our intuition. So I hope that this is providing huge value for you. Just going to do a quick reset of the room. My name is Louisa Havers. I help entrepreneurs break through their income ceilings working with the Akashic Records and with energy kinesiology and business strategies. And today we've been talking about keeping your energy aligned and flow as you grow your business and how to listen to your intuition in business for your aligned success. So we'd love to hear from you. If you feel called to do so, you can raise your hand by clicking the button in the bottom right hand corner. And we'd love to hear your stories around how you've listened to your intuition in your business for your aligned success and any learnings along the way. And as I was considering the conversation today and thinking about some of the resources that I have used, one of the books that stands out to me, and would love to know if indeed you have read this book, this is for me around listening to intuition, is The Untethered Soul by Michael Singer. Is this book familiar to you? It is a fantastic book. And one of the reasons why I love this book is there's an exercise in it where he gets you to connect with your higher self, to connect with the voice that you hear when you quieten the monkey mind, the voice that is watching the monkey mind. And I remember it was just so powerful, that moment of connection to my higher self and to listening to the voice within. So it's my top tip for you to take away for you today is to, if you're looking at wanting to develop your intuition, is this book by Michael Singer, The Untethered Soul. So it looks like we're coming to a natural close from our conversation today. Thank you so much for joining me and for listening, and for those of you listening to the replay. Would love to stay connected with you, so do invite you to connect with here on Clubhouse, in Instagram and on Facebook. And looking forward to being back here again with you next week and continuing the conversation. Sending you all lots and lots of love. Take care. Thank you for joining us today. Bye-bye. Thanks for listening to the Infinite Prosperity Podcast. And if you like what you've heard and want to know more, please go to louisahavers.com. We just appreciate you so much. So thank you for listening and hanging out with us. If there's anything that we can do for you, you can email us at louisa@louisahavers.com. Let my team know if you have any ideas for shows that you'd love to hear or topics you want me to talk about. Really looking forward to hearing from you. All right, that is it for this week, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us for today. Looking forward to connecting with you again. Until next time, namaste.